Hunter Brown's dominance, Javier's ceiling, and a wide open battle to define exactly who's going to traverse the outfield.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we update you. Join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. Thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. Go and become an everydayer. Go and join the Everydayer Club. All you have to do is go to lockedonastros.supercast.com today to become an everydayer. So this episode is brought to you by MLB The Show 26. Just visit mlbtheshow.com/locked on and use the code locked on to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. So, and if you pre-order now, available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. It's rated E for everyone. So, Brett, I know that everyone wants the season to get started right now, and Hunter Brown is ready to be the opening day starter. This is not in question, but he went out there and had a little bit better performance out there today. Nobody is questioning whether he's the opening day starter or not, but Christian Javier, he has not pitched yet, and he's going to make his debut tomorrow. And then Imai is going to make his next appearance on Thursday. So we're going to talk about some of the ramifications about that. And I know that we've been focusing a lot on the outfield, but we haven't really been talking a lot about how the young outfielders are doing in spring training. So we're going to focus a little bit on the three young studs and see how they're doing. And we had a Yordan Alvarez sighting. He played not left field, but he played DH today. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and what happens once everybody starts having a regular playing time. Are we going to see a little bit of what the Astros are going to do with the plan? I don't know if anybody knows the plan yet. I don't know if Joe Espada knows the plan. But Brett, let's talk a little bit about Hunter Brown.
I hope Joe Espada knows the plan. He's the freaking manager. They're going to chase the fight. Come on, Eric. You know the plan. They're chasing the fight. That's what they're doing. 2026. Chase the fight. But in all seriousness, look, Hunter Brown looked good today. He did walk a couple batters, but 2 2/3 innings, not bad. 3 Ks on 43 pitches, got up to 98.3 miles per hour. He's saying he feels good. He used the curveball more than he did his first outing, and he's going to be ramping up more as the spring moves forward. And as we get closer to actual opening day, which is March 26th, by the way, we're recording this on March 2nd. Happy Texas Independence Day. It's when we signed the Declaration of Independence for Texas. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. But yeah, there's a little Texas history for you. But look, what you want to hear from your pitchers is how they felt afterwards. And Hunter Brown afterwards says he feels physically really good and he feels strong. And that is where you need to start. Start with health, start with strength, start with tomorrow, Hunter, how do you feel? And a lot of times for these pitchers, it's how they feel the next day or when they go inning to inning, when they get into a start and they're going 1, 2, 3, 4 innings. How do they recover in between innings? And that's basically what you're looking for here.
Yeah, and if you look at his ERA on the spring training, it's 1.93, kind of what you would expect. He didn't allow any home runs today. So the Astros are just going through the motions. And no, yes, they didn't lose today, but it's not about the results. It's about just how are they looking out there. Bennett Souza made his spring debut today. 1 inning, 1 earned run allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit. But he was the latest guy to kind of make his debut. But the rest of the guys are likely people that are going to be making some noise throughout the rest of the season, because I think despite the Astros' depth, you're going to probably be relying on a lot of these guys. Logan Van Wy pitched 1 shutout inning today. Leach pitched 1 shutout inning. And JP France, who a lot of people were like, okay, they left him for dead when he was DFA'd for assignment. He cleared waivers. He went down. He accepted. He went down to the Astros off the 40-man roster, and he had 2 shutout innings today with 2 strikeouts. So he's looking pretty good. I don't think he'll make the team out of spring training, but another option down the road. And so you have to feel good about these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what you want. I think that the strength of this ball club will be their pitching, despite their closer not starting opening day in the bullpen where you can use him. I think everybody else, you've got not just serviceable arms, but I think arms that are going to contribute. And you're going to see a big year out of this bullpen. You're going to probably need that. This offense has got to not be anemic. This offense has got to be firing on all cylinders. And while they've been averaging the most walks in spring training, over 7.3 walks per game, they induced 7 more walks today. They are in the bottom part of OPS and slugging right now. Again, it's spring training. But when you asked, when you mentioned earlier, maybe Joe doesn't even know what the plan is. Well, I know the plan is to score more runs. I know the plan is when a runner gets on base to bring his butt home, because that was a tired and old story that we got nauseated with last year. This year's team's got to step it up. The pressure this year in 26 is 100% on the offense.
Yes, but at the same time, you have to keep the offense in the game. We'll talk about a little bit more about the patience and offense in the third segment. But I know that Roflo was talking about Framber Valdez made his first start for the Tigers in spring training, and he looked pretty good, as you and I were talking about. But he was basically saying, I guess he was asked, with Framber Valdez gone, who's going to be the X factor? You can't use Hunter Brown because that is cheating, because he's already was kind of the ace. So who's going to be that guy that's going to step up? And Roflo basically said what we've been saying all offseason. Christian Javier is a big X factor for this team. I know you and I have been talking about Mike Burrows is a big X factor, and it could be a good dynamic rotation, because what if Imai is that big X factor? There's so many possible what ifs in the situation.
Yeah, and that's what you're trying to solve in this spring training equation. That's what you want to see. And you need everybody going out there performing. Christian Javier, yes, I think is an X factor, but if Mike Burrows is as advertised and does what we've already seen him do, no disrespect to Javier, but Burrows is my number 2 guy regardless, just because of the injury history. And recently, that's not a bad third arm to throw out there. Christian Javier right behind him, and then Tatsuya Imai, and then Spencer Arrighetti. I mean, look, you've got a litany of arms and several options to go through. I think the Astros should be fine when it comes to pitching.
Yeah, Spencer Arrighetti could be the 6th guy in a rotation at this point if, let's say, Lance McCullers rediscovers his form. But there's a lot of what ifs, and I guess what Roflo was referring to is basically what I've been saying, is the fact that with Christian Javier healthy, he misses bats. He finds a way to get those victories. And Burrows, yes, he's had success recently, but we'll see how he adjusts to a new team, a new philosophy. Maybe the Astros are going to try to get him to add another pitch or two, pitch in different situations, different ways. So we'll have to see how that adjusts. But I think this team is going to rely on Christian Javier. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is the number 2 starter, just because he is one of the longest tenured Astro starter outside of Lance McCullers. I don't know if he'll get the number 2 start out of the get-go right there. But the the Astros have some options, and that's something that we've been talking about for several years that Dana Brown has not done. But Imai, speaking of Imai, he's going to be making his next start on Thursday, and I know he only pitched 1 inning last time, only threw 10 pitches. 8 of those were for strikes, and he was had pretty good velocity. So what are you looking for in this next start, Brett?
I'm just looking for consistency in the zone. I'm looking for obviously missed bats, and I'm looking for the ability to go out there and pitch more than 1 inning, do it efficiently. And if you do get in trouble, how do you work out of it? Those are things that you're looking for in spring training.
All right, guys, we'll go ahead and continue this conversation. Next, we'll talk about the young outfielders. Who's making a big impression in terms of the trio of youngsters that's trying to make the opening day roster, and not just a roster spot, but a starter's gig. We'll talk about that next on the Locked On Astros podcast.
Today, I'm thrilled to be talking about our sponsor, MLB The Show 26. The greatest game in baseball is back with its newest installment. Baseball fans are going to have a hard time prying themselves away from the game. Talk about an amazing experience. It's like being in the show yourself. That's right. You can be a player and make that dream come true. Make that dream a reality with MLB The Show's career mode. You can also play franchise mode as your favorite team, and so much more. If you're a gamer, a baseball fan, or just enjoy America's favorite pastime, then this is the new exciting way. You're going to love MLB The Show 26. Play as your favorite team and franchise and see if you can get that next World Series. Visit MLBtheshow.com/locked on and use the code locked on to unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Pre-order now. Available March 17th on PlayStation 5, Xbox S and X, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. It's tax time, but for a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment that's not the most convenient, sitting in a waiting room with a stack of papers, emailing back and forth and wondering if you're really going to get your situation taken care of. But this year, you're getting a major upgrade. Intuit TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide. You can meet face-to-face with a real tax expert, and your documents get uploaded straight to your TurboTax on the spot. And just like that, you're done. Your TurboTax expert works to get you every dollar you deserve while you get real-time notifications as you go about your day. It's the relief of walking in and meeting a real person, walking out knowing your taxes are being handled right. Head to turbotax.com/local to find a store near you and book your appointment today.
Hey, Astros fans, are you a big everydayer? Are you somebody that listens to podcasts every day? Well, why don't you go ahead and join the Everydayers Club for as little as $5 a month or $50 a year. You can go ahead and get the Discord access. You get access to the ad-free versions of podcasts. And for an all-access version, you can get access to newsletter, get access to subtext, and Locked On merchandise as well. So go ahead and go to lockedonastros.supercast.com and join the Every Club. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. And as we've been talking about a lot is the outfield position, mostly left field. We've been focusing a little bit on Yordan Alvarez. How much is he going to be playing out in left field? And I think that's going to hinge a lot on who's going to be playing, where Isaac Paredes is going to be playing, and how they're going to kind of distribute that playing time. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the 3 young players that are really fighting for positions. We're going to assume that, let's just assume, Brett, right now, that Alvarez is going to play left field. I don't know if he is, but let's just assume for this conversation, he is. Let's assume that even though Joe Espada has said, well, nobody has been named the starter at any position in the outfield right now. But let's just assume that Jake Myers is likely going to be the everyday starter. That's 3 people that are likely battling for the right field job and the occasional left field job in the Astros rotation. So before we talk about the numbers, which guy do you still think has the upper hand in the right field spot?
Well, the right field spot, I think the upper hand goes to Cam Smith because of what he did last year. I mean, he is your Gold Glove nominee. He's one of the 3 best right fielders in 2025. That's hard to argue. Zach Cole is the only guy in the outfield that has a plus arm. He has an arm grade of 70. And let me make sure that I have that right. Yes, an arm grade of 70. Nobody else comes close. I think the closest is a 50 grade. When you look at arm strength from the outfield, Cam Smith has the strongest arm in the outfield. Zach DeCenzo comes in second after him of guys on this list, and everybody else on this list, a lot of them aren't even here with the Astros anymore. And so right now I think it's Cam Smith's job to lose. I think Zach Cole can earn some spots, not only in right field, but left. And I think you can also spot him in center field. The thing is, where does Joey Loperfido fit in? Joey Loperfido does have an option this year, but after that, you've got to stick him up with the big club. And so Joey Loperfido's really got to make himself a commodity. In other words, someone they can't go without, someone you have to have, almost like fuel in a gas tank. And so which one of these guys are going to charge out of spring training, and is Dana Brown and Joe Espada going to crown you are the starting right fielder? It's going to come down to execution, but I think each of them has their own case to be made. But Cam Smith, to me, clearly has the upper hand. Again, it's his job to lose.
If you listen to the talk all offseason, Zach Cole is the it kid. He's the new kid on the block. He's the new shiny toy. And I think that Dana Brown especially, he wants to see him succeed because he has all the tools. Yes, he struck out a lot in his limited time in the big leagues, but he's been working to adjust that over the offseason. And the Astros have seen some positive strides. But if you're looking for somebody to just like seize this job in spring training, and I know a lot of people say spring training doesn't matter. For these guys, it does. They're battling for basically almost one position, maybe 1.5 position. And so these guys are going into spring training with all the desire to win this. And so Cam Smith is batting 220 with a 200 with a 729 OPS. He has no home runs, a double, 2 hits overall, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. If you're looking at Zach Cole, he's still hitless. He's got a 333 OPS. He does have 2 RBIs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts in 9 at-bats. And then you have Joey Loperfido.
Doesn't Zach Cole have like 4 stolen bases too while being on base? I mean, he's got walks. He's got like 4 stolen bases. So, yeah, he's got speed. He's the fastest outfielder. There's that.
Yeah, that adds a different dimension that the Astros don't really have anymore, since Jose Altuve is not really light on his feet anymore. So that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. And Joey Loperfido, he does have the benefit of being a left-handed hitter, and he also is batting 100 with a 457 OPS with 1 hit and 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. So if you look at all 3 guys, they all have 4 walks, so they're showing some patience and 9 to 10 at bats. But basically, I think the Astros were hoping that somebody had a Cam Smith 2025 spring training to basically seize the moment. And nobody's really doing this at the moment.
Yeah, again, I mean, we're halfway through the spring training. I mean, we've got a couple more weeks. We'll see how things pan out when these guys get in their mode of being locked in, being in there every day. The tough part for these young outfielders is going to be, if you're not playing every day, how do you get heated up for that day? How do you go into the game when you've been sitting for 2 or 3 games and go out there and face major league pitching? That's always the toughest thing when you're not able to get into a rhythm, into a routine every day. But those are things you can't control as a player. And you just have to be willing to, when your number is called, that you do the job that you're called to do. And you don't have a whole lot of opportunities to fail. You need to succeed. And all that pressure is going to only be the pressure that player applies on themselves. When I talk to Zach Cole, when I talk to Cam Smith, Neither one of those guys are worried about external pressure. Neither one of those guys are worried about expectations from fans, from the club. They know what they can do. They know the work they have to put in. At the end of the day, they know it's them and only them who can get themselves more playing time. So I think it's going to be a fun competition to see as things heat up, and hopefully 2 or 3 of these guys get hot at the same time to make it really difficult on the team to make the right call.
The good thing, Brett, is that the fact that all these guys are going to make the roster. I do not have any doubt that these guys are not going to be on the roster. They all have major league experience. They'll all likely be up. So the question is there some type of platoon, maybe in right field, maybe platoon with Alvarez in left field? So is that how some of them get some playing time? And Joe Spada did say that he's comfortable right now with what Jake Myers can do in center field. But if there's any type of injuries, I know he played recently after his back spasms. So I don't think that that's going to be an issue. But there's always going to be whoever shows up is going to be able to play. So we'll go ahead and continue this conversation because this is kind of going to bleed into our next segment because Alvarez returned and he played DH. But what happens when you got to get everybody playing? You can't have everybody play DH, right? Not an all DH team. Talk about that next on the Locked On Astros podcast. Hey, college basketball is nonstop, big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every night from the early tip-off to late night West Coast shootouts. There's always action on the board. And now FanDuel is giving away to turn the energy into even bigger patrons with a college basketball profit boost. You can build any college hoop parlay that you want, rivalry games, ranked matchups, whatever fits your mind at that moment. You can mix spreads, totals, and player props to match how you're seeing the slate playing out right now. And if you're getting ready for a baseball season like I am, FanDuel has the Astros at plus 2,200 of making it to the World Series. So head to FanDuel.com to get started today. That's FanDuel.com/FanDuel to and play your game. And hey, me and my wife, we're going to watch we're going to go to rodeo tomorrow to watch Jay Baldwin. I don't really know who he is, but my wife is super excited about it. But MLB opening day is almost here and you can feel it. Fresh start, big expectations, and that first crack at the bat, whether it's a breakout rookie season or divisional race that goes down to the wire, there's nothing like going to the ballpark for it. That's why there's Game Time. Just like I did, the Game Time app gives you the advantage with constant innovation. It unlocks the amazing tickets, experiences, and just a few taps. It's simple to use. The Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered at any time at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included. That was the best thing about my experience is the fees are already included. So you get to see the seat views, the zone deals, and you can follow your favorite team and get alerts when the new prices drop. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Go to the account, use the code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first account. Download the Game Time app today. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. So sometimes you have some technical issues and sometimes you're just trying to figure out how you're going to play all these hitters. And I think that's what Joe Spada is trying to figure out. And I know that Alvarez played DH today and he was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And I'm not going to read too much into it. It was good to see him back in action. I know that he's anxious to get out there and play some left field. Paredes was not in the lineup today, but definitely something to look out for with once you have more of the regulars. I know that Jeremy Pena is off in the World Baseball Classic, but what happens once you have to start playing more of the regulars? What are you going to do?
Yeah, look, Yordan Alvarez is going to be in left field. He may break a record for games in the left field. He's never played more than 56 games. To me, it makes sense. To have him out there. Why wouldn't you want your best hitter, the most deadly left-handed, lethal hitter in Major League Baseball, feeling more in tune with the game by playing left field? If it's a big bother, I mean, you can make a double switch, move him to DH later in the game, put someone out in left field. I don't care. You can do that, right? I mean, if Ohtani can go from pitcher to DH, we sure know a position player can move around in the lineup. So why not do that? Look, I'm not worried about Yordan Alvarez. I know he has had injury issues, and I know everybody kind of teases like he's made of glass or he doesn't care or whatever, but I don't think any of that is truly the actual like reality of who he is. And Yordan Alvarez this season, I'm just going to say he stays healthy, 135 to 140 games. He can easily do that. And with this lineup, even as log jammed as it is going to get his at bats, whether it's DH, whether it's left field, he's going to be out there, and he'll get his rest days. We'll have the off days. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. Yordan Alvarez is going to be pretty stinking good this year. And I can't wait to watch him go off. And I can't wait to see a lot of people I think are going to end up eating crow this year because he's going to have a very good season at the plate.
Oh, you missed a cue. I thought you were going to say, well, he's hitless today because he didn't play in left field because he likes playing in the outfield.
Well, yeah, I mean, that too. But, I mean, look. Oh, I know. No, I get it. But, I've got people trying to have full conversations with me on social media about why I'm not concerned about their OPS or why I'm not concerned about them not scoring runs. It's spring training, no one's ever won a title in spring training. And yeah, but other teams are hitting home runs. Well, you know what? The Astros can't worry about other teams. The Astros are walking more. That's one aspect of it. Now they've just got to start hitting, get in the groove. When the time is right, get your timing down and everything else will take care of itself. iElbow says, I have always been always positive, always Stros. And look, I'm that guy, but I'm also a realist, and it comes down to one word: execution.
And I'm going to go ahead and correct something. You did say the Astros had 7 walks today. They actually had 6 walks today. So that's going to bring their average down a little bit more, but they're still a little bit more patient. And so I think that this is something that Dana Brown and the hitting coaches have been preaching. This is something that I think the hitting coaches were let go or not brought back for this reason. And Victor Rodriguez, this is something that he is preaching a little bit more patience. And I think that what you're seeing is some of the younger kids are taking to this approach. And I think that you're seeing Jose Altuve kind of adjusting to not just being a like hit it towards first or second or third base side, but hitting it more towards all portions of the field. And I think what the Astros are finally trying to do is not just being like trying to slug it out, because they don't really have that team right now. But to kind of go back to your spring training point, the reason why I want to bring this up is Carlos Correa is hitless. Christian Walker is hitless. We know these guys are going to get hits.
No.
But one thing that I do want to focus on is the Astros have got to stop getting off to these slow starts, not in spring training, but in the regular season. So I don't care what they're doing right now in spring training. They just got to have a better approach. That's what it looks like they're doing to get ready for the regular season. That's all I care about.
Yeah, me too. I do hope they get off to a faster start, but we all know that there are clubs that traditionally, up until this last year, get off to really fast starts and don't do anything at the end of the season. I'm talking about your reigning AL West champion Seattle Mariners, who were a few outs away from their first World Series. we've seen them get off to major hot starts. Look, at the beginning, you want your offense working. You want your average runs per game to be up. You want your pitchers going as deep into games as they can, and your bullpen holding those runs off the board, keeping those runs off the board. I think it squares up perfectly to play the Angels in the opening series, opening day. Yusei Kikuchi will be the opening day starter, I believe, for the Angels against Hunter Brown. That's a great way to get this season started. A couple home runs by Yordan. I mean, look, it is all about taking this one game at a time, one series at a time. But yes, I agree with you. We do have to have a hot start.
Yes. So that's whatever the Astros are doing. It seems to be working. Now, the question is complacency. Will they go away from this approach once the season gets started? They're working on it now, but will things be different? So I want to see this continue. So whatever they're doing, I want to see more walks, make the pitchers work, and that will lead to maybe getting to the bullpen a little bit quicker, wearing out the bullpen. And I think that's something that the Astros did not take advantage of last year. And if they're able to do that this year, I think you're going to see a lot more success. I don't know if this is a 100-win, 95-win team, but this is a team that definitely can get up in the upper 80s type of win number.
Yeah. I don't think there might be one team that is close to a 100-win team, and that would be, I think, the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know that anybody else is there. I don't even think the Yankees are there. I want to thank y'all for tuning in.
Wow.
What? Well, I'm talking about the American League. I'm not talking about the National League. Yeah, I'm talking about the American League. We're not worried about the Dodgers over here. They're National League. We'll worry about them when we get to the World Series, right? So thanks for tuning in to Locked On Astros. Look, we're going to continue talking about who is hot, who is not. Christian Javier start. How does he look? Maybe some WBC talk, because coming up this weekend, the boys from the USA will be here versus Mexico, Brazil, Israel. I mean, it's going to be a really fun Pool B tournament here. And if you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Astros ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedonastros.supercast.com and make sure, if you're on video, you check out the first ever 24/7 Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure you make your second listen Locked On Fantasy Baseball to gear up for your MLB season.
All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. And Brett,
go Stros. Man, you didn't even let me get the word go out before you clicked me off the screen. Holy crap.